We've been working on this, some people since we left campus back in March, but certainly this executive committee started up in May 4th. We've been meeting daily. Today's decision was really about getting some of the key information out there so people can begin planning. We're not done making all of our decisions that have to be made for this semester, but certainly the move-in date, so the calendar was a part of it, and then assuring people that we are coming back to campus and we're taking safety precautions to help keep our community safe. So we really looked at that Thanksgiving time where we send people home for break. They go across the state or across the country, and then they come back together for about 2 weeks or maybe a little longer with finals, and then they go back. And that seemed to be a lot of mixing for a disease that spreads from human to human. So our goal was to reduce that mixing during that time period. So trying to have things wrapped up before Thanksgiving. We talked about, should we just send them home and have them finish online after Thanksgiving? But that gets complicated as well because of semester-long class projects and papers that are due and final exams. So we decided to wrap it up before Thanksgiving. And in order to help make up for that, we added 1 week on the front of the semester. There's a lot of work going into that, and still today that they're thinking about, okay, how will I change my class? Some of that is more supplemental work, so discussion groups, perhaps outside of the classroom. But also the other thing we looked at is in our accreditation programs, they require between 14 to 16 weeks, and we're going to be 14 weeks or more. We'll have a testing strategy that's been developed. We'll test faculty and staff, and then certainly the students coming into the residence hall at the start of the semester. And then we have our own contact tracing team that we're standing up here on campus. We'll coordinate closely with our public health officials here in Story County, but we'll have a team to quickly identify if somebody has symptoms or has tested positive, who else have they been around in the last 48 hours, and contact those people quickly and get them tested to make sure that we can contain the best we can. We have spaces set aside in the residence hall for those that live in the residence hall to isolate or quarantine if depending on what's required. So again, they're not further infecting. The cloth face coverings that's expected for all faculty, staff, and students to wear to help reduce the emission of the virus if it exists here on campus is a key part of what we're doing. Our student health, Thielen Student Health, will be coordinating that. There will be approved tests. We will be working with providers here in Ames that will help us run those tests. And we'll have a collection procedure. We're working out the details on that. But we think we can have a system arranged where we can get back the results very quickly. We will coordinate with public health, but we don't have to wait until public health has done all of their contact tracing and so on before we can begin our steps. So we think that additional speed will help us contain this more quickly. We have staff that have gone to special training that's been offered nationally. So we've trained up people that we have, and we have a cadre, I believe, of like 10. And once we get, if we get to where those are busy, we'll train another 10. And so we're looking at using our staff that have public health or nursing experience or understand the field, and then providing them additional training and the resources they need to do the tracing. We have this executive committee that I chair that's like 16 of us, but there's another dozen committees working on different topics. And so, for example, in the academic continuity group, which is really about the classes, we have a student representative on that. on the research arm, we have a graduate student on that committee that is helping think about the research side of things. And then I've also met with those two students, and then they invited in additional students in kind of a listening session. And in fact, just today, I've reached out to schedule another one coming up here in the next few days, now that this announcement has gone out, to gather their input.